First thing on the agenda. Let me fill you in on what I was doing in between the stream. So I took a nap, woke up around 3 p.m. Eastern time. Right now it is 3:55, so probably 12 hours ago. I took a nap, I woke up, and I watched a show. So I'm currently going crazy watching a Korean K-drama series called Blackout, Snow White Must Die. If you haven't watched it or you don't know what it's about, go watch it. It's phenomenal. But at the same time, it drives me fucking crazy. It drives me fucking crazy because they're prolonging it. A lot of things happening. I don't really want to spoil it for you guys, but hey, you're like, hey, Musashi, how the hell am I supposed to watch Korean shows and movies? Trust me, there's ways. There's ways. I'm not gonna say how. You figured that out on your own time. But if you happen to figure it out, I highly suggest it because it's a great show. Okay, anyways, so I watched that. That took about an hour and a half. I was losing my mind. So it took an hour and a half to finish it. It's an ongoing series, by the way. Usually, I wait until the show is completed so that I can binge watch it all in one sitting. But this show is that good that I had to, watch it every week. But yeah, I finished it, hour and a half. I spent another hour just going crazy trying to come up with plot twist and what's going to happen next and what to expect next week. But every time I do that, I fail because it's like, oh, this is obviously what's going to happen. And then it's like, nope, plot twist and another plot twist. And then boom and bam and boom. And it's like, fuck, what the hell? But I'm drawn. So I love it. Anyways, apart from that, I also worked on an art piece that I showed on stream last night. But I will show you once again. I actually have it right here. But I also have a blurry ass picture on the computer to show you guys. But yeah, this is what I finished. And I am no Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, I'm no Leonardo da Vinci. I'm no Picasso. I'm no Van Gogh. But I'm self-taught since the age of like 5 to draw, and I want to improve on my hobbies. Okay, I have many hobbies. Okay, and this is one that I want to dedicate some time. Kind of like PewDiePie. PewDiePie was like, I'm gonna draw for 100 days, and bro, in 100 days I have to improve. I have to improve. That's basically what I'm doing, but it just over the span of 28 years. There you go. Okay, if you couldn't see it there, because the light is a little harsh on the paper, I will show you digitally the artwork so that you guys can see it, we can analyze it, we can talk about it, and yeah. Let me just pull it up. God, these ads are killing me. By the way, if you're wondering, why does this streamer have ads on Spotify? That's because I'm poor, okay? I can't afford Spotify Premium just yet, but one day I'll be able to afford it, and we don't have to listen to ads. We could just skip them, motherfuckers. But for now, we're just gonna have to deal with the ads. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm full of energy, by the way, because I do have a Stanley Cup full of coffee, and I know what you guys are thinking. Musashi, are you fucking nuts? Are you insane? You're drinking coffee at 4 a.m.? Bro, I've been drinking coffee since 1 a.m. But yeah, anyways, back to what I was doing. God, I feel like I have ADHD. Okay. So, the piece I was working on, if you guys couldn't tell by the sketchbook, I'll pull it up on screen right now so you guys are able to see it. And I'll show you the reference photos as well so you kind of see what I was working with. Now, as I said, I'm self-taught, and I've been drawing all my life. It is a hobby of mine, but hopefully my goal is to improve and to learn things along the way. But yeah, I have the reference photos up. But I'm gonna kind of tell you what type of art I do. So, the type of art I do is mostly, I don't want to say realism or hyper realism, but I focus on like portraits. I kind of want to master, like, if there's one genre of art I really want to get good at, is just copying what I see. Observe something and just copy what I see. And I want to do portraits. But yeah, I use a method, and you're probably well aware of this method if you know anything about art or if you draw yourself. But it is called the Loomis method. So you've probably seen this before in your art or drawing adventures. And basically, what it is I was almost gonna say geographical shapes, but no, it's not geographical. Like, you don't have a landmark on your face. Hopefully your face is as captivating as a landmark, but what I meant to say is geometric shapes, right? A geometric grid of a head. And basically in that geometric grid, you add facial features. It makes it easy to draw a face, a head, boom, this, bam. But yeah, it was invented I believe in the 40s, by a guy named Andrew Loomis. Hence why it's called the Loomis method. But anyways, that's what I'm trying to experiment with. That's what I'm trying to learn and trying to teach myself how to do it and get it down pat, so that way when I need to draw someone or someone's like, "Hey, you look like an artist, draw me," I can just easily. Anyways, let me show you what I was working on. Boom. So if you guys couldn't see on the sketchbook, on the screen, I drew kind of a tribute piece to one of the legends and my idol in music, called Bob Marley. And he's not only, he's known for reggae music and being a Rastafari, but to me, he was way more than that. Like, if you've seen the Bob Marley movie, if you've seen documentaries, if you listen to his message, you know, One Love. To me, he's an activist. He's kind of like Tupac. He's the Tupac of reggae. But yeah, I kind of wanted to memorialize him in an art piece. So I drew him over there. And by over there, I don't mean over there. I mean on the screen. 3 different eras of his career. So starting a young Bob. That's why I wrote The Wailing Wailers, which is one of the earlier albums in his career. And also I wrote Simmer Down because that is one of his breakout singles or songs. And if you haven't heard it, I highly suggest you check out his music. Read his lyrics, because a lot of his lyrics are very impactful and powerful. And I'll kind of get into it a little bit later on, but I just want to talk about the art piece right now. But yeah, that is the earlier stage of his career. Now, this isn't a carbon copy. It probably doesn't look exactly like him, but as I said, self-taught, not Da Vinci, and I'm learning. So hopefully I can improve with other art pieces. But then I drew him kind of, I don't want to say in his prime, maybe, but yeah, kind of in the middle parts. So yeah, you can kind of see the progression of his evolution, basically. So yeah, during this time, he released an album called Naughty Dread, or a song called Naughty Dread, with the Wailers. That is his band, by the way. And then this is the Bob we all know and love. This is when you envision Bob Marley, this is what you envision. This version of him. And you probably heard of the Legend album. So if you heard of One Love, if you heard any of his music, you probably heard it from the Legends album, because that's his greatest hits. But yeah, let me show you the reference photos and kind of touch base. I'm not gonna, even though there might be people that say, hey, this art piece is great, wow, it's amazing. To me, I'm probably my worst critic, but I'm gonna be real, because I envision myself as a realist. So I'm not gonna, you know, toot my own horn or you know, hype myself up. I'm gonna say it how I think. So I'm satisfied with the overall piece, but to me, it can be way better. And I kind of recognize its flaws and its strong points as yeah, and its weak points. But yeah, let me show you the references basically. So this is the reference. It was very hard to find kind of young pictures of a Bob Marley, but this is kind of like a overall reference that I use for the young version of him. And I don't know. I think I could have done better. I think I kind of need to work on my proportions using the Loomis method, but overall it's pretty decent, especially for not that good of a reference. No offense to the legend himself. But yeah, I think I made his nose a little too long. I think his head could have been a little bit wider, bigger. But overall, pretty solid. But yeah, I think this version of him I could have done way better if I would have taken my sweet time. I think in general it took me about 3 days of on and off working on it. But yeah, this is the first reference. The second reference is an iconic photo of him. So I use this one as the second Bob. So this one right over here. And my critique basically of this one kind of looks cool, but I think I could have made his forehead a little bit shorter. And I think I missed a couple of dreads here. So if I worked on it a little longer, I could have probably fixed it, made it look a little more like the picture, but I think I captured his essence overall. But yeah, I think the best one is the third Bob, the final Bob. And let me show you the reference photo for that. So this is him here. As I said again, and I will repeat, I don't think I made a carbon copy of him. I don't think it looks identical, but it looks very good. It looks very good. I think this is the closest one of all the Bobs that I used, or of all the reference photos. So I'm very happy with it. But overall, I think I captured his essence. It's kind of like, you know, in movies when someone plays a biopic, like when, let's say, like the Tupac movie. A lot of people were like, oh, okay, he kind of looks like Pac, but he doesn't sound like Pac and everything, but he captured his essence. Same thing with the Bob Marley movie. Like the actor, oh, he doesn't really look like Bob, but he captured his essence. He doesn't even sound like Bob, but he captured his essence. Same thing with this piece. But yeah, I think I will improve with more practice. Practice makes perfect. I don't know if I'll ever get perfect, but hey, progression is progression, and improvement is what I'm aiming for. Yeah. Funny story. So I said yesterday on stream that college and university or higher education isn't for everyone. And it really isn't. It really isn't. Some people ace. Some people just breeze by it easily. Some people, not so much. And in my case, not so much. Honestly, when I graduated high school, I kind of went into community college. I went to a community college in Rhode Island with hopes of transferring to a 4-year. And I have a bunch of hobbies, right? So art, I love music, production, a whole bunch of things. I'm a jack of all trades, okay? I learn a little bit of everything, okay? I'm the technical geek in my family, so any repairs, anything technical, everyone comes to me. So by default, everyone thinks that just because I pursue something, that has to be my passion, that has to be what I'm good at, that has to be what I have to do. And that's not the case. I just enjoy learning a lot from everything. But yeah. Anyways, how many? You know how Kendrick said, "How many ops is too many options? How many hobbies is too many passions?" Basically, since I was a little kid, I wanted to go into the health profession. I wanted to become a doctor, especially after being diagnosed with diabetes and everything. And every time someone's sick in my family, I kind of know and everything. But yeah, that's how I started my college career. And because of a lot of things happened during that time, I couldn't continue, so I had to appeal for financial aid. Then I went into production, learned a couple of things, didn't finish that, had to appeal again. And at this point in my life, I was struggling. I'm still struggling now, but I had zero to my name. And trust me, I still have zero. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, it was difficult, to say the least. But yeah, I was like, you know what? I was bored. I didn't have a job, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna shoot for the stars. I'm gonna appeal financial aid again, and for each time I appealed, I had a good reason, to win the appeal. It wasn't like I was like, fuck this, and stop going to college and didn't give 100%. I gave 100%, but there was just stuff going on in life that kind of like there were barriers for me to like continue. But anyways, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna aim for the cloud, or shoot for the stars, whatever, or reach for the stars. I'm gonna appeal financial aid one final time. I'm gonna try to make something of myself, trying to better up my life. And I was like, you know what? What can I like? I did production. I did medical. I failed. I even tried to do STEM, which is science. I don't know what else, English, math, whatever, just general studies, basically. And no. I was okay. I'm not gonna say no. I was all right, but I was like, you know what? Art, because I'm decent at it. Okay, I've been drawing all my life, and even now I think I'm good at it, or decent at least. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go into art. How hard can it be? Like, I got this in the bag. They approved my appeal, so I was ready. I was gunning for it, and it just didn't work out. And I'll tell you why. So this is now the story time. This is the story I want to tell. Now we're gonna get into it. The other shit was just preface, but now this is the story. So I was like, you know what? Art major. Boom. I'm gonna take art classes. I'm decent, so I'm a little confident. And the worst the worst that can happen, I can improve my art skills. Even if I give it my all and fail again, I'm gonna improve. So I enrolled in art classes. Now, when you have financial aid, they give you kind of a budget, kind of a fund that you can use towards buying whatever you need for that semester or for the whole career. And yeah, I had that. And you can use that to buy stuff that you need in the college campus. Like at the stores, they sell stuff for the classes you take. And I was hyped. I was like, this is it. This is my opportunity. I attend the first art class, right? They don't tell you this in the brochure. This is kind of fucked up. But I attend the art class. Everyone has all their materials. I had the what do you call it? I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but it is the syllabus. The syllabus. Yeah, it's a paper, basically a list of all the things you need, what to expect for the whole semester, what you're graded on, all that. So yeah, they gave me the syllabus, and I was like, oh, okay, all this. So I went to the art. I went to the college store. I tried to look for those materials. Little did I know, the freaking college didn't sell art supplies. And at the time, as I said before, I had zero to my name. I was struggling. Okay, I was a struggling, starving artist. Um, but yeah, I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna attend the first class. I'm gonna talk to the teacher. Hopefully, they can come up with a suggestion so that I can continue on. I can continue studying. So I'm trying to be as respectful as possible. I always try to be, even though people don't deserve it, probably. But the art teacher was very egotistical. She was very bougie. Just envision, like, I don't know, some people, you know how they incorporate sometimes a certain stereotype with art, people in art. Yeah, that was her. Um, anyways, I'm in the class. Everyone has their materials except for me. Uh, we do the introduction, the introductory phase of the class, where everyone has to state their name, state why they want to study art, all that. And actually, I'm gonna go full screen. There we go. Yeah. So it comes to me. I have social issues. I'm just, I have anxiety. But anyways, I was like, hi, I'm Ronnie. Nice to meet you all. The reason I enrolled in this class is because I've been drawing all my life. It's a hobby of mine. I think I'm pretty decent, but I would like to know and learn the technicality of art, like the technical aspect of it, so that I can hone my skills, basically. While everyone was given their introductions, people were clapping. People were like, "Oh, cool! Oh my God, yeah!" The teacher was very engaged. When it came to me, and I said that, the teacher, everyone was silent. You can, if there was crickets, you would hear crickets. But the teacher just stared at me. She glared at me, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. Sometimes maybe you come across people in your life that it's just not a fit. You're just not compatible or whatever, and I don't know. Maybe I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. Maybe she sensed my anxiety and my nervousness and everything, and she was like, "Oh, this whatever." She told me straight up, "You're born with it. You can't be taught art. You either have it or you don't." And the class was like, so already they thought I didn't have any art abilities or anything. And she just shot me down immediate. But I didn't make anything of it. I let her say it. I let the class go. I didn't want to make a show. That's not me. Um, but damn, I felt bad. Damn, I felt bad because in my mind I was like, wait a minute, but I've been drawing my whole life. Like I've gotten better. You know, like surely people say practice makes perfect. You do something 10,000 hours, you master it. The PewDiePie is a great example. Like PewDiePie on his channel was like, oh, I'm gonna draw for, I don't know how to draw, but I'm gonna draw for 100 days, and I'm gonna improve. And yo, self improvement. That's what I'm about, right? So I was like, surely that's not true. Like I was insulted, offended, but whatever. I let the class go on. So it was time for the first assignment. So for the first assignment, she grabs a glass, like, wine bottle and puts it in the middle of the class. And she's like, okay, we're going to try to study the proportions. We're basically just going to copy what we see and try to do it on paper. So obviously I was like, all right, cool. I wasn't sweating it. Everyone else was like, oh, okay, whatever. And she's like, just try to get the proportions, just try to do the best you can, and whatever. And me, I try to go above and beyond every time. So I was doing the proportions, I was getting it as picture perfect as I possibly could, and I was doing details. I was doing shit that obviously everyone else wasn't really focusing on, because I was like, hey, it's art. It's expressive. It's subjective, and also Like, the better details, the better it looks, or I don't know. But yeah, whatever. She did not like that. She did not like that. Like, I trust me. While I was working on it, like, she taught us how to measure using like a pen or a pencil. Like, obviously the object was in the middle of the room. So imagine you being far away from the middle with an easel, and you have a pen that you're working with. So she's like, first of all, you got to stand so that you're fully extended, your arm, and don't hold the pen like this or anything. Hold it like this, and kind of lightly kind of map where everything goes and everything. And this is how you would measure. So the way she taught us is fully extend your arm. You're gonna use your thumb and kind of slide it down to take measurements. So you're gonna close an eye. You're gonna look at the object, and each portion or sector of the object you're gonna measure with your thumb and the pencil. So let's say the lip of the bottle was like that. Then you would translate that onto the page, and then you would draw it, and then you would move on to the next part and the next part. So I was like, all right, cool. So I did it. Boom. I think it looked decent. I think it looked good. I mean, while I was drawing it, I was obviously self-doubting myself because I'm my worst critic, remember? Oh shit, I didn't mean to stick my middle finger out, but whatever. Yeah, remember, I'm my worst critic, so I was self-doubting myself so hard. Especially I was hung up on what she said in the introductory phase. But yeah, to reassure myself, not trying to shit on everyone, I went around the class and looked at their easel, looked at their sketch pad. First of all, remind you, I didn't even have the materials. I didn't have no sketch pad. I didn't have the bag, the pencil. None of that. None of that. I had to beg someone, please, 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 rip out a page. Please let me borrow. Please. And someone was nice enough to offer that to me. If not, I would have just flunked that class right then and there in the introductory phase. But luckily, someone gave me a paper, a pencil. She had the easel. And yeah, no. Anyways, I finished the drawing. Everyone finishes the drawing. I go around and I take a sneak peek. I was like, kind of squiggly. Ooh, okay. Ooh, that one has a dent in it. Ooh, what the heck? That one looks like someone took a bite out of the glass. Like, what? Okay. Oh, that's kind of wobbly. Oh no, it's a little too. So I was doing that in my head, obviously not out loud to make anyone feel bad, because I don't like making people feel bad unless, you know. But anyways, yeah, I was feeling more confident every other easel that I seen. So yeah, I was feeling confident about myself, and I was in my head. I was hyping myself up. I was like, bro, you got the proportions dead on. You added way more detail than like the label was like. I even had the barcode with, bro. Trust me. The teacher goes around, looks at her. Okay, all right, decent. Okay, comes to me, looks at mine. All that detail was not necessary. Not she didn't sound like that. She was Russian. Not that that matters, but she was cocky, and she was like, "You don't have to do that." Blah blah blah. Oh, your proportion. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, constructive criticism. Okay, I'm not gonna feel bad. I can learn, move on. Next time, I'm gonna kill it. Trust me. Whatever. If too much, if your expectations are here and I went here, I'm gonna bring it down here and meet you down here. But yeah, we move on. Now she has a slideshow. And this is what I mean by cocky and egotistical, the art stereotype, blah blah blah. She has a slideshow of work of art that are in museums by people like Van Gogh and Picasso and Seurat and this and that. And she was like analyzing it. She's like, look, this is why this is highly praised, and oh my god, look at this, and look at how this is, oh my god, the angles, the this, that, blah blah blah. And you know what she did? It would have been great if she would have stopped there. She went along the next slide, her artwork, and she was comparing their artwork with hers, and how her artwork is as good as theirs, and how, oh yeah, my art teacher was so happy and glad when I did this one, and oh my god, this one's good, this one's as good, it could be in an art museum, and blah blah blah. Oh my god, I show all my students this one, blah 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 blah, blah. And I was like, oh my god, oh hell no. But yeah, whatever. Her shit didn't stink to her, but to us, I don't know what your diet is. Maybe you, I don't know. But yeah. After that, I was already feeling down in the dumps. Okay, we were almost getting to the end of the class. And she's like, you know what? Let's take a break, and we'll reconvene for the last 30 minutes of class, whatever. And yeah, go take a break. Go, I don't know, buy a snack. Go use the bathroom. Go whatever. Make phone calls, and then we'll come back to class. I took the opportunity to step aside and kind of get one-on-one, be like, hey, obviously I'm sorry I didn't come prepared for class. I had financial aid. I didn't know that the college didn't sell art supplies, because on the syllabus it was a long ass list of art. I don't know if you know how much art supplies cost, but bro, easily reached like $500, everything you needed, and I didn't even have $5. So I was like, I didn't even have a nickel to my name. So I was like, hey teacher, I'm sorry, I have this financial aid, but I can't use it because the college doesn't sell the art supplies. I really want to study this you know, this career. I think I can improve, and I can really be good, you know, and it's interesting. And yeah, but my financial aid isn't good in any art store or anywhere else. So what am I supposed to do? She's like, ooh, yeah, sucks to be you, because you have to buy it. You have to buy it, and then you'll be reimbursed afterwards. I think maybe I tell myself that to feel better, but I doubt that she said that. But she's something along those lines. I'm just giving her the benefit of the doubt. She was like, yeah, you can buy it out of your own pocket, and then you'll get reimbursed. But anyways, I was like, fuck, so what am I supposed to do, man? I can't come. She was like, you better come to the next class with all the supplies, and I hope this isn't the last time I see you. Hopefully, you know, whatever. Hopefully this isn't the end of your art career. Hopefully it didn't end before it started. That sounds more like her than the benefit of the doubt. But anyways, I was like, I was bummed out. I was like, okay, she's tearing into me, she's insulting me, and now I feel bad, and even my best isn't good enough for her. Like I was like, oh, this just isn't gonna work out. Like, damn. So I went on break, indefinite break, and I didn't go back next class. I didn't pursue it. I was like, that's it. That's the end of my art career, professional art career, and also the end of my college career, because financial aid isn't gonna approve another appeal. And yeah, I was like, well, it's not for everyone, and sometimes things happen in life that you can't do what others can. Maybe you're not in that spot, that place, but you know, there's not. The thing about life is that there can be 100 people, right? And we can all have the same goal, but there's not one route. There's not one way of achieving that goal. Like, let's say 25 of those people go about it one way, 25%, 20 other people go about it another way, and then so on and so forth. There's different ways of getting to the finish line. You know what I'm saying? There's different routes. Sometimes you got to take a longer route than, or a different pace than other people. But the important thing is making it in the end. But yeah, sadly, it just didn't work out, and that was the story of my failed art career and college career. Um, but yeah, that didn't deter me though, because I'm still drawing. I'm learning by myself. You know, you don't really need to go to school to learn something. And also, teachers can learn from students, right? And it's kind of, that's applicable to anything really. Like, it's funny how, like, Bob Marley, who I drew, he has an interview, and in the interview he said you don't have to go to a temple in order to pray to a higher power. Like, your body is your temple. Like, yeah, yeah, it's crazy. But anyways, that is the story time for today.